Welcome back, all you lovely people. I just want to say thank you so much for 200 subscribers. Like, seriously, how are we there? That's amazing. I'm really happy. It feels like not even that long ago I made that 100 builds for 100 subscribers. So to celebrate that, I'm going to do something that it seems like a lot of people loved in the first kind of part when I did it for my 50 subs special. We're going to do a creative tour. So as you can see, maybe not in this area, I've added a whole bunch more in my creative world ever since I've done that video because, I want to make this very full and very nice. Now, not every single build I've done in videos are on this world. There are on some other worlds. We'll see if we have time to maybe pop onto a couple of them and I can show you around some of my favorite builds. And yeah, otherwise, let's get into it. So we're going to start our tour on this side of the mountain, which is the opposite side that we started on the last Creative World tour. The reason being is because I don't have loads over this side, the way I'm pointing, so I'm pointing at you, right behind you. I haven't got loads of stuff, but further on is where I've got most of the other stuff. So it'll be easy to start from over here and then work our way backward. Now the first thing we have over here, as you can see, is the Medieval Tavern. Now this was a build I did very recently and it turned out really well. I love the use of detail I used with the dark oak stairs and slabs. It complemented everything really well and the contrast was just amazing. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and the interior was also something I was pretty proud of. In here we've got some very decorated roofs and walls and a little bit of a diner kind of aesthetic. And then upstairs is where my favourite part of the interior is, which is this little like hobbit hole area, and I love the way I decorated the roof here. And all of these little rooms are just small, nothing major, but I wanted to be a little bit like an inn. So yeah, we did this and I think it turned out really well. Since this is an updated Creative World tour, I'm going to go over some of the other things that I've already gone over in the last video a little bit quickly. All the new stuff I'll go in a bit more in depth, like the tavern that we just did, and some of the boring stuff will also be cut short. So yeah, next up is one of the boring things. So over here, or right behind me this way, it's not very interesting. It's just a little board that I did when I was trying to do the armadillo and crab and update mob vote thing. I was doing some of the pros and cons of it. Again, nothing major. You can find that whole video if you are so interested in. But yeah, nothing really much of a build. Over here we have our beautiful city that we did, the elven kind of style. I do really like the way this turned out. It was the first kind of one I was trying to do some gradients with, and it did turn out very, very well. I do like it. I like it a lot. Again, we haven't done any interior, and I did go through this in the last video. Oh, I think I did. If I didn't, sorry. Otherwise, it's nothing major. We just did a few little things around. I think it looks really cool. I love the little dead trees we've got. I might work on this some more because I think this is a really cool area and it could look even cooler. So yeah. Now over here was one of my favorite YouTube short houses that I did. I love the detail that went into these. It's supposed to be one house, but I kind of interconnected it with two colors, and the reason why it was interconnected, if you haven't seen the short, I got a mob, which it was down there, a rainbow Jeb sheep. I got him to pick the blocks that I wanted to use, or not wanted, that fate decided me to use. We did a bit of interior. I don't think we did anything major, just a couple small things. But it was a really fun short, and it was a super fun build. I really liked the challenge of it, and it turned out super, super nice. Now you probably saw these in the background. This was for a video that I may still do, I may not. We'll just see. It was supposed to be like Minecraft through the eras, kind of the build trends of the game. So I don't actually know where the first one is, but we'll start with number 2. It's just all the blocks that we had access to, which wasn't a lot. I had to do some research to figure out because, yeah, we didn't have loads. And then, yeah, we kept going with the castle, which I think the castle was a staple part of whatever game this was. The Pretty Scary update, yeah, loads of people did that. And then I did a little laboratory once redstone and everything was introduced. I was going to do a bit of an explanation of the history of the Minecraft updates and the building styles between that. Never got around to it, and I kind of lost interest. I mean, I might still go back to it. I'd never finished all the builds, so If you are interested in something you'd watch, then maybe I'll do it. We'll see. Now next up we have this beautiful log cabin that I did. I'm very happy, although it's a really simple design because it's just straight spruce stairs and spruce all everywhere. I really like the way it turned out. The interior as well is beautiful. I'm very happy with the way that this interior turned out. A bit of a campfire. I got everything to fit in pretty well, and I do like it. I like it a lot. It's so pretty. It was so simple to build, but it turned out well. And look at this beautiful view. Oh, so nice. Now this build was specifically from my Christmas video, which I wanted to do kind of a Christmassy winter themed cabin, and I think we talked about some Christmas monsters, like a podcasty type video, which was a lot of fun as well. Now we of course have our trees that we've done loads of YouTube shorts on. We've got our alien trees up in the background here, and our not so alien trees and our pig apparently. And then we also have the tutorial tree over there, which is the same as this, except I just built another one for a YouTube short so I could tutorialize it. So now we're going to kind of speed run some of these builds because I know that we went over them in the last Creative Worlds tour. If you haven't seen that, I explain a lot of these more in depth, but now we're just going to speed run through them. So we've got our ugly block build from our ugly block short. We've got all of our Halloween builds for our little Halloween YouTube short. We have this copper house that I never made a video on because frankly I forgot. We have the shoe house, which I do really like, and I still do. It's so pretty. We have one of my favorite treehouse designs with the acacia, and I just love the outdoor vibes of this. We have our fantasy ruins short, which yeah, super nice. Love this dragon. We have our cherry house hut, and yeah, it looks pretty nice. We've got loads of interior as well in here. We've got our two zodiac sign builds, which were the Taurus and I think Sagittarius. Maybe, I could be wrong, but I know this one's definitely Taurus. Just forgot about this one. And I think that's all the builds that I kind of want to speed run through. Maybe I missed some. We'll see when we get to them. So beyond this, we have our little dirt house, which I think I also did explain in the last video. We actually built this twice, same principle as the cherry tree over that way. Wanted to make a tutorial on it. It's got no interior, but I really like the way this dirt house is. We've got our rainbow house here as well, which also doesn't have an interior. It kind of gives me like more factory vibes, but I really like the artistic expression of this with the rainbow kind of patches all over it. It looks really pretty, and it turned out a lot better than I expected. We have another bit of a boring area where we're going through some of the new updates for Minecraft Live, like when it was announced and discussed. Now we have those in the snapshots, and yeah, they're pretty cool. We have our awesome build evolution bases. I say bases plural because there's many of them. I'm still not really happy with the end result of this, but it's not awful. I think it could have been a lot better, but I think I picked a really bad design to try and make look nicer, so that was kind of my bad. Now further on behind here we have our tutorial dragon that we did. I wish I used some different colours and maybe did it in a flatter area, because I don't know, it's kind of hard to understand the dragon here, but there was a fun tutorial nonetheless. Now I know we went through this ice dragon in the last video, and a few videos actually, because, you know, I like it, and so we're gonna go through it again. I love this ice dragon. I love the way that it crawls down the mountain. I want to build more dragons, and yeah, that's all I've got to say about this, apart from I love his tail, I love his wings, I love this dragon. So pretty. Near our zodiac bases we have a few little tree designs, which I did a tutorial on how to make custom trees. That was a lot of fun. We did 3 trees here. We did an oak variant, we did a cherry variant, and then of course a spruce variant. And further along this way, you can see it creeping in, we've got our little Christmas village, which I did a stream on. We didn't actually continue streaming it because life got in the way. Anyway, we were able to build a lovely tree here and decorate it. I had some help with stream with what blocks to use. They were super helpful, and we kind of did some of these houses, although we did not finish them. As you can tell, you can tell they're unfinished. But yeah, a little Christmas area that we got started and didn't finish. And speaking of unfinished projects, we've got a few of them, so strap in. Our most recent unfinished project is this area. I wanted to build a black and white grayscale city, which I might still go back to, we will see. I lost a little bit of interest. It just kind of looked like a movie set now because they've got no backings. I've just built the fronts of all of them. I mean, it looks cool in theory, but it just didn't call out to me, so I didn't keep going with it. Over here we have our dystopian townhouse build, which a lot of people seem to like, and honestly, I like it too, so makes sense. It's a very pretty build. I love the colours that I did. I love that I used paintings as part of it because I've never done that before, but it turned out really, really good. I love the gradient on it and even just the outskirts of it. It's super pretty. Again, I haven't done any interior in it, but you know, it looks pretty, so that's all that matters. So here we have kind of a throwback. It was one of my first kind of tutorial type builds. We've got our greenhouse here, and I was going to wax all the copper, but I decided not to because I kind of like the aging process. I think some of it's wax, but most of it isn't. I do love this greenhouse. I still love it. It turned out super nicely, and the inside is super pretty. It's just got a lot of ambience to it. Now further over this way, we've got some of our builds that we did for like aesthetic school while I was trying to get replay mods sorted with my mods. We ended up getting it sorted a bit later, but we were able to do a couple of these. This is my hippie area, and I love this. It's so cool. It's so like forested and ambient. I don't know, it's beautiful. I love the mushroom designs I did here, and just all the crazy colors I was able to put around. It's a pretty kooky area, and I like it. Now, of course, we've got more aesthetic schools. So this one was our cottagecore area. I did a little small bridge design. We got some rolling hills and some block palettes that you can use for any cottagecore builds, including a build as well using one of these block palettes. We've got some tree designs and a little well over here. Super pretty. Now I think over here is our last aesthetic school that we did. I might still do more. We'll see if any interest me. I haven't found any that like fully interest me as much as the other three did. But here is our steampunk area. A lot of people loved this video and these builds, which I'm super happy with. I am too. I really like these. I love this hot air balloon. I do like the aesthetic here. I was able to do a lot more than I expected, and again, it turned out really well. My favorite part of this is this railway, I have to say. It fits in so well, and let's ignore that clock because it's got a nice front, but it's a little bit flat. Now coming up over here, we have the world's smallest dark oak strip. I wanted to build a dark oak base, and I did, but the closest dark oak biome was 1 miles out, and 2 absolutely tiny. It's in between a birch and a spruce, and it's just a little strip. It's insane. Anyway, I was able to build our little dark oak cottage here, and I do love the way that this looks. It looks super cute. It's got a little bit of, mushrooms all on the roof here. It's super pretty, and the interior is probably my favorite out of everything because you walk in and it's super small, cozy, but I tried to make it kind of like fairy-like, very crowded, but still magical. And it turned out super nicely, so I'm happy with this. Now as we circle back around, we go to another biome themed base, and we've got our little eco mansion in the jungle biome. I think this turned out really well. It was a different style than I'm used to, more modern, but I'm super happy with it. We didn't do any interior apart from a few little decorations, but I think this is super nice. I tried to make it very airy and homely, and I do like it. I love all the details that I was able to add with just the azalea pots and some lanterns, and it turned out super nicely, and I'm very happy with it. Now continuing on, we have some of my world edit stuff, which loads of fun. I went through a bit of a phase. I mean, not really a phase. I still use world edit, just maybe not as much anymore. Anyway, we've got a couple of them. We'll start with the first one over here, which is our Farlanders build. This is probably the first time I properly used world edit, and yeah, you can kind of tell it was just a lot of copy and pasting for these structures here, but it did take a really long time to detail all of these and make sure they fit. Now I did all the top bits by hand because obviously I can't really world edit these trees or even this bridge here, but it turned out super nicely and a lot of people loved this build and I did too. It's such like a different kind of take on Minecraft terraining. It's almost like chunk generation issues but on purpose, so do with that as you will. Anyway, we've got another world edit one, which is one of my most recent ones, I think. And this one is the Tree of Whimsical Magicness. It looks better in shaders, I won't lie to you. But I do like the way I've kind of curved the branches, but I wish I went a little bit taller. I had a vision, I didn't quite execute it as well as I wanted to, but I'm still happy with the result. I love the way that I've curved all the branches here and added a few things that I wouldn't usually. It does light up at night, but it definitely makes a lot better of a silhouette piece, I think, in my opinion at least. But yeah, it looks cool nonetheless. So over the horizon here we have a couple more of my world edit stuff, and first up we've got these two jellyfish here. Now these didn't use heavily on world edit, it was just more to get this glass shape here on both of them, and the rest of it I did by hand and even edited it all by hand. I still think it turned out really well. This is my favorite jellyfish out of both of them. You know, not that I have favorite jellyfish, but I do. So the pink one's my favorite. This one's good. I do still like it, especially from certain angles, but it's a bit different and it's not as nice as this one, I think. But I do like that it's a bit different because if I had them both the same, I might as well have just copy and pasted it. So I like the difference. Now, continuing our lovely ocean in the sky, we have a lovely whale here, and oh, I do really like this. This was something that I've always wanted to build, but I never thought I had the skill to do it or just the creativity to do it. I'm glad I did, and I'm glad it turned out well. I'm actually more glad that it turned out well than I did it. Anyway, it looks super nice. I love the block palette that I used, or the calcite, and even up the top it's just got a simple kind of garden up here. I didn't want anything major, but it looks super nice, and I'm very happy with the final result. Now, moving on from some of my more world edit mega builds, we're going to go back to some of my simpler builds, which I think that I may have already covered in the last tour, but we can go over them a little bit quickly. So we've got this lovely witch tower, which I'm fairly sure I did cover in the last tour, but you know, we'll cover it again because I love the colours that I used on here, and I love the soul lanterns. Oh, it looks like it's sparkling, and I especially love the interior. Look at this. Oh, it's so magical, it's so colourful. I love the greens, the purples, the oranges, just so much colour in this build, which I'm not super comfortable with building in a lot of colourful stuff. So when I did this one, I was really happy with how it turned out. And oh, I love it. I do really like it. It's a bit of a pain and it's not very much of a usable interior, but like for aesthetic purposes, it works. Now, moving on from the Witch's Tower, we're going to go to something a little bit more relaxed and relaxing, which is of course our Zen garden that we have here. The exterior of this whole build is phenomenal. I'm so happy with how it turned out. These like little spikes here. I didn't make the roof go all the way through, which I didn't like at the start, but I really do like it now. And yeah, just the way it curves. Oh, I'm super happy with the way that this turned out. Very pretty, very nice. I love it. And when you walk in, of course, we've got a sheep. Okay, we've got a Zen garden, and it's got a nice tree here with the leaves of the cold biomes, I guess, the cool leaves, and we've got that contrast with the bright green moss. And I did consider making these also bright green, all these leaves, but I thought that it looked a lot nicer with the contrast here. Now, it's a super simple garden design, and it looks super nice. I really wish that I replay modded this whole exterior here. Unfortunately, this was when my replay mod was not updated with my current version of mods, so I couldn't quite do that, but it looks super nice nonetheless, and I was able to replay mod all the insides of it. But I really love this whole build, and it's something that I'm most proud of. It was just a design I'm not comfortable with, and I was able to execute it fairly well. Now we'll go over this quickly. We have a little side corner house build, nothing in it, just an experiment. That's all that is. Don't look too much into it. So once again, we stand on the snoot of my favorite dragon as we finish the world tour. I think I showed you everything. I might have missed a couple things, but I'm fairly sure that I got through pretty much everything, at least all the important stuff. If I don't remember it, then it obviously wasn't that important. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little creative tour, and again, thank you so much for 200 subscribers. That's insane, and I'm really, really, really excited for whatever else I can bring to you guys in the future. We've got another SMP kind of one coming up soon, maybe a little bit later. I'm going on holidays soon, but I'll make sure I have a bunch of videos planned out for you so we don't have too much of a break. Anyway, we've got a few other episodes. We've got One Day and loads of other friend collaborative stuff, which I'm super excited with, as well as some of our regularly scheduled building episodes. So don't worry, you're not missing out. You're just getting extra. So once again, thank you so much for 200 subscribers. Oh my goodness, I can't even say it. We do have a Discord as well that if you want to join, it's in my community tab. It's pretty nice. We got a good community there, loads of cool people, and we could have some more cool people if you joined. Otherwise, again, thank you so much for 200 subscribers. It's insane. I've said it so many times in this outro right now, but I just can't believe it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you liked the tour. What should I build next? Let me know, and I'll try and do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye!